Hey guys, John from the John Muir Show here, and there's been no shortage of liberals out there who've been defending CNN's Jim Acosta in the past week. This coming after Acosta, who is CNN's White House correspondent, has been for roughly 5 years, had his credential to White House events suspended on Wednesday night. So you've got so many people, like I said, coming to his defense, including CNN's Jane Merrick, who claimed in an op-ed that this is a, quote, outrageous ramping up of President Trump's campaign against a questioning, robust, and free media. No, that's actually not what's going on here. You see, what is happening right here is President Trump and his administration saying that, you know what, everybody needs to follow the rules. Because you see, Jim Acosta, sure, he's somebody who's been a thorn in the side, as it's described, of the Trump administration, of Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, because he goes to these events and, as the left likes to put, he just asks the tough questions. But that's not what he's doing here. See, Jim Acosta, and even let's forget about, for the sake of this entire conversation, that he's somebody who is supposed to be a neutral correspondent, and all he does is show that he's a partisan hack time and time and time again when he's at any of these White House events or press briefings, whatever the case may be. Even just putting that aside, look, Jim Acosta, he is one of many correspondents that you have at the White House. I mean, there are so many television networks, radio stations, newspapers, whatever, that are represented in the White House press corps. But so many times, including this past Wednesday, when President Trump was giving a press conference at the White House the day after the midterm elections, Jim Acosta decided, no, I'm going to act like I'm the only person here. See, Jim Acosta decided, after he got called on very early in the press briefing, the President Trump press conference, he got to ask his question. He got an answer to his question from the president. He decided that wasn't enough. No, I, Jim Acosta, need to go, making myself the star of the show. Instead of reporting on the news, I need to be the news. I need all the attention to be on me. So he refuses to give up the microphone. He refuses to sit down. And what was that? It was incredibly disrespectful. It was disrespectful to all of the other reporters from all of the other different media outlets that were in attendance at that President Trump press conference, who had their own questions they need to ask. Look, their stories are going to be different from yours. They don't need answers to just the questions you have, Jim Acosta. They need to ask their own questions and get their own answers from the president. But Jim Acosta once again decided to grandstand. He did not play by the rules. Plain and simple. That is what happened. And Jim Acosta, who has done stuff like this so many times, you know what? He did it one time too many now, and he got his White House credentials suspended. And I applaud the Trump administration for doing it, because you have to punish people who act out of line. What you would expect if people were responsible on the left is they would say, look, we personally like Jim Acosta. We personally like his politics. We hate President Trump as well. But you know what? Not every single thing that any person does is correct. Even people you like, yet they do things wrong. And you know what you need to do? You need to say, okay, even though I like that person is wrong in what they just did. That person needs to be rebuked for what they just did. That was wrong. Is that the approach that so many of Jim Acosta's colleagues in the fake news media have taken? Is that the approach that Jim Acosta's boss, CNN, has taken? Is that the approach that the White House Correspondents Association, whatever the heck the group is that goes representing all the reporters that are at the White House? No, of course not. Because those entities, those people that I just listed off, those are not responsible, reasonable human beings. No, instead, they are just a bunch of moronic partisans that like nothing more than double standards. So, even though this behavior would normally be seen as out of line and inappropriate and worthy of being reprimanded, oh no, it was done by somebody who hates Donald J. Trump. It was done by somebody who votes the same way we do on Election Day. Oh no, Jim Acosta, he's totally in the right because he's the same amount of partisan as we are. It is just so incredibly irresponsible, the message that you've heard from so many liberals about the whole situation with Acosta. I hope like hell that someday in this country we can get back to a point where, sure, we are going to have our disagreements. We can have our debates. We need debate. We need healthy civil debate. We don't have to just be one big group thing here in the United States of America, but I hope we get back to a point in the United States of America where everybody has some basic common sense about them. And once again here with the story about Jim Acosta, where they're trying to prop him up to be, it's so terrible what happened to him, when in all actuality he was in the wrong and brought all of this upon himself. It just once again goes to show you there are so many people on the left who refuse to have that common sense, and I sure hope like hell they find it someday soon once again. That's all the time that we have for today, but tune into the John Muir Show each and every weekday starting again this Monday, 8:40 a.m. on WTAQ, 9 a.m. on WSAU and WHBL. Till next time, I'm out.